Hello, we meet once again.
Yeah, hello, how are you doing today? Can we have some voice, please?
Somebody who can confirm that we have a nice connection today.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we can hear.
Can hear you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, don't forget to put on your cameras because we're going to have some photos later.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we have all the participants ready, Mr. Ben?
Yeah, I think so. Like they're keep coming and coming and connecting, all of them. Let's see, there's so many again of them.
Yeah.
But Putri, please, let's remind them what they have to do today.
Okay, so don't forget to fill the attendance list on the Google Classrooms and type the questions on the Zoom chat section if you have any questions. Because selected question will get drinks souvenirs.
Yeah, like if you remember, we did the same thing on the opening ceremony, so we are going to do it again.
Okay, so there seems that the participants eager for start the session today.
Yeah, I think so. They're like eager, but guys, like I've been following the Instagram with me and Baputri, also like following the Instagram to see your posts and different stories about Dream, and like it's actually interesting, to see that you've been participating like actively in the four sessions, and like it's so sad that our short virtual journey has to end, yeah, Baputri. But I hope like next year it will be online, not online, but you can come. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Baputri, before like we can start our official session, I think we have another more interesting announcement to make.
Oh yeah, winner announcement
Mm.
for selected questions of victory.
Oh, we have 3 people who are selected to receive souvenirs, right? Or
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Winners. The winners of the selected question from victory are.
Sabar, sabar. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, guys, but before we announce it, just be ready because the announced people would like to ask you to put your mic on. And because we want to have like a little chit chat to see how you are doing, what's new around you, and etc. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
So there are Justin Andrew and Katrina Saina Mary. Yay! And then we have Nur Hidayah Ashikin binti Yuding for IG Boss.
Okay, but Putri, I think they cannot hear your voice quite clearly.
Oh,
even though-
yeah?
Let's try. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Oh, can you? No.
No, it's not muted. It's okay.
Hello? Is it?
Yes, it's better.
Danny, can you hear it now or it's like still the same? Oh,
Yeah,
much better.
it's
Okay.
better now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, once again, Baputri, let's mention who the winners are, but one per one, okay? So we can directly. Okay.
Okay, so congratulations for the winners, yeah, for the winners from J3.
Okay, guys, and yeah, I think you know how you're going to receive your souvenir, so no need to be as stressed. You'll get them for sure because I've seen them prepared here to be sent.
Okay, Mas Dobrin, without any further ado, before we start the event today, there will be some video for the today's institutions profile. Okay, here we are.
The video, please.
Supiori yang terletak di Provinsi Papua merupakan pemekaran dari Kabupaten Biak Numfor pada tahun 2003 dengan 5 distrik dan beribu kota di Sorendiweri. Dengan mata pencaharian utama sebagai nelayan, papeda sebagai makanan pokok, dan Yuspan sebagai salah satu tarian tradisional Supiori. Sebagai kabupaten baru, Supiori menyimpan banyak potensi yang belum digali, seperti keindahan alam, sumber daya manusia, kearifan lokal, dan hasil bumi. Untuk memanfaatkan potensi yang ada, dibutuhkan kerjasama dari masyarakat, pemerintah daerah, dan berbagai pihak yang berkeinginan untuk membangun Supiori. Supiori memanggil kami, 29 mahasiswa, untuk datang dan mengabdi melalui 5 misi utama. Meningkatkan kapasitas aparatur pemerintah kampung, mengolah potensi lokal menjadi produk bernilai lebih, membangun fasilitas dan infrastruktur kampung, meningkatkan pendidikan dan kesehatan masyarakat, melakukan identifikasi dan promosi potensi wisata. Dan di ujung pengabdian ini, kami persembahkan Festival Arema sebagai bukti cinta kasih kami untuk Supiori, untuk Indonesia.
Aktif sudah absen.
Dompet Duafa has contributed to the world for 27 years. Now, in the year of 2020, Dompet Duafa will be always with you, collaborating together in alleviating poverty. Economic Empowerment Program is one of our efforts to help the people out of poverty. We increase on their sides, awakening the hope for them to revive from adversity.
Terima kasih, Insya Allah.
Providing chance for them to be empowered and to Peace.
Setelah adanya doa-doa saya bisa merangkul teman yang lain. Alhamdulillah dari yang mereka cuma ngomong bisa berkarya.
In the future, Dompet Duafa will always be part of the world civilization that promote peace and self-reliance. Because collaboration is the only way to enhance the world peace.
Terima kasih banyak, terima kasih.
Gajah Mada Electronic Nose C19 atau Genos C19 merupakan alat inovasi Universitas Gajah Mada yang terbaru dalam screen.
Hello guys, I'm sorry, but we're experiencing a light technical problem, so we're going to be back. It's ready. Enjoy. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching this and still being patient here with us. I think Mbak Putri, it's already time for us to start our main event.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for to each and every one of you for being here with us, and we are very pleased to be able welcome those of you that have been with us for the whole program, as well as our distinguished speakers today. My name is Putri, and I'm a student of Graduate School UGM. Next to me is Mas Dobrin.
Hello everyone, we're meeting for the second time. Once again, I'm Dobrin, and I'm a student at Gadjah Mada University here in Indonesia. As today marks the ending of our dream journey, on the behalf of the Office of International Affairs at UGM, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who helped us make this virtual journey a success, a really great success. We couldn't have done it without you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Okay, then shall we continue and start our main event?
I think so. Let's continue.
For this, let me invite our moderator for today, Dr. Imade Andi Arslan. Dr. Andi is a lecturer and a researcher at the Department of Geodetic Engineering, Universitas Gadjah Mada, Indonesia. He is currently the head of the Office of International Affairs, UGM, and responsible for the international collaboration of the university. He is also an expert at the Coordinating Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Investment and the Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries.
Additionally, Andy obtained his PhD from the Australian National Centre for Ocean Resources and Security, also known as ANCORS, University of Wollongong, and a master's degree from the University of New South Wales, Australia. He has published around 250 works in the field of geospatial aspects of ocean affairs and the law of the sea in the forms of journal articles, books, conference proceedings, and popular scientific articles both in English and Bahasa Indonesia. He has presented his various works in several international fora in Asia, Australia, America, Europe, and Africa since 2005. For his achievement in scientific and popular publications, Andy has received awards from Australia, France, Germany, the Netherlands, and Indonesia.
Okay, Pak Andi, screen is yours.
All right, thank you very much, Putri and Dolvin. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, Pak Andi.
Great. Hi, everybody. How are you? It is very nice to see happy and exciting faces here in front of me. Probably because this is the last day of Dream, I think. First, thank you very much to everybody at the Office of International Affairs at our university for organizing this amazing event. As I said earlier, at the beginning of this event, this is for the first time for us to conduct this event online or virtually. And by conducting this virtually, in fact, we open more opportunity to more people and to the wider scope, basically. I don't think we had people from 17 or 18 countries before, but now we have a lot of people, once again, from 18 countries and also from 38 universities. So I think this is one of the, probably, if I can say, most successful Dream in terms of number of participants and the variety of nationality, for example. So before I start, by the way, I put a link in the chat room over there for you to fill, just to see your opinion about community service or community engagement. It is a one multiple choice question. You just need to click this and that, and that's it. So if you would like to help me to know more about you, please click that one and then make your choice. All right, now I would like to once again thank the organizer for this very, very important event and also opportunity. Today we would like to have a last session, which I think is a very exciting session. We have heard quite a lot from the previous session about how we deal with data and data. We manage the data and then transform it into information, and then collect it into knowledge. And then at the last point, we would like to see how this knowledge can be beneficial for our community. And this is one particular session, how we actually contribute to our community based on what we have done in terms of data, information, and knowledge. And for this, now we have three prominent speakers with us, our colleagues and our friends also from Universitas Gadjah Mada, I would like to say hello first to Professor Irfan Dwidya Priyambada. Hello, Prof. Irfan. How are you, Prof?
Thank you. Fine,
All right.
fine. I hope
so
that
much.
you also very healthy. It
Yes,
seems.
yes. Thank you very much, Prof. Irfan. Thank you very much for joining this event. Prof. Irfan is, I'll later on talk about and also read about his complete, not really complete, but at least a more complete CV. But now I would like to say hello first to Bapak Haryo Mojopahit. Pak Haryo, are you here with us, Pak?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Thank you very much, Mas Aryo, for joining this event. I know you're not in Jogja at the moment, but this is the beauty of having an online session. You can be anywhere, right? Thank you once again to Mas Aryo. Is Advocacy and Strategies Alliances from Dompet Duafa. What is Dompet Duafa? And then Mas Aryo will be able to tell us more about that later on. And the last one, but not least, certainly, is Professor Kuat Triana. He is our friend from Universitas Gadjah Mada. Prof. Kuat, matur nuwun. How are you, Prof?
I'm fine, Pak Andi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I always joke with Pak Kuat, but it is true that he is probably one of the most popular.
Not really.
Convention. We are going to talk and we are going to listen more about what he recently invented. That is very important for not only for Indonesia, I hope, but also for the world. Okay, let me first introduce our speakers in a little bit more detail. But later on, what they can do is to introduce themselves by telling us what they are doing at the moment and what the relation between what they do and contribution to the community. Okay, Professor Irfan, or in Indonesia we usually call it Prof. Irfan. In short, he graduated from UGM, certainly our university, but then he went to Japan for his master and PhD. By the way, Prof. Irfan actually got not one, but 2 master degree. Don't you think it's great? So Prof. Irfan, we can later on tell us, even to do 1 master degree is not easy. He did twice. And now Professor Irfan is the director of, if I have to read this, I don't want to misspell or anything. Director of Community Service at Universitas Gadjah Mada, just for your information, my friends, it is compulsory for the students at UGM to go to the village and live there for 2 months. And Professor Irfan is the director who actually managed that program. We are going to listen a lot from Professor Irfan. By the way, Professor Irfan is also a adjunct professor at Osaka University at the moment. And in the last 5 years, by the way, he's a prolific author. He has published at least 10 articles in a very highly reputable journals. And in 2016, by the way, his work was cited by Nature. So see, this is basically one of the, probably the ultimate goal, if I may say, if you are an academic, you really want to be cited or published in Nature, and he has been cited by Nature. I think this is really good. So Prof. Irfan, later on I will give you the time, maybe like 5 or maybe 7 or 8 minutes to talk about what you do. But before that, allow me to introduce other speakers first. The second one will be Bapak Haryo Mojopahit. Mas Haryo, probably if I may say, you still look very young and you're very young, but you have achieved quite a lot, Mas Haryo. Thank you very much. Mas Haryo is, by the way, by training, he is a historian, if I may say. So you graduated from the Department of History at the Universitas Gadjah Mada. I think your background academically and your name relates very well. Because we talk about Majapahit. Majapahit is actually one of the greatest kingdom that we had in the past. And Mas Haryo is a historian by training. By the way, just like Professor Irfan, Mas Haryo also got 2 master degree, by the way. And both are from the US. It's really good. It's really great. So from Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, I hope I pronounced that well. And the second one is from the non-profit management at Eastern University at Pennsylvania, right? And now Mas Haryo is the general manager for advocacy and legal protection of Dompet Duafa. Once again, Mas Aryo can explore more or tell us more about that. And the last one, once again, as I said earlier, we have here Professor Kuat Triana. Professor Kuat is a professor and lecturer also at UGM at the Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, particularly the Department of Physics. And his research interest covers physics of materials, basically, and how to develop electronic nose and electronic tongue. This is very important, how you develop electronic nose and electronic tongue. And he got his PhD from Kyushu University in Japan and master degree from ITB. Once again, one of his invention is called Genus, which is called Gajah Mada electronic nose. One of the probably most talked about now invention in Indonesia, because with that invention, he actually can detect coronavirus in our human body in less than 5 minutes, which is very good. So this is actually a testimony also, because I have been tested using his invention, which I think is very good, Professor Kuat. So now with that, we would like to go to first Professor Irfan to give you maybe 5 to 7 minutes to talk about what you are doing. Professor Irfan, the time is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wandi, and also for the committee invited me to this prestigious OSCE event. Allow me to share my show the here, everybody in every student in Universitas Gadjah Mada at the end of this study have to visit a village or a certain community in what we call with Kuliah Kerja Nyata or community service learning. That is a problem solving learning. Then I would like to show you how we do it during this pandemic. But this is a compulsory subject for UGM student. It has 3 credit units. It started from 1976, and it mobilized a student at the time is 4-year student, but now student having 100 credit unit, and they are have to stay in the community, work with them, solve their problem, and they work in a team consists of 20 to 30 students. Which also in the 20 to 30, it has at least 3 clusters. The first cluster is physical infrastructure, mostly students from science and mathematics is there, and also engineering. And the community health cluster, which means Faculty of Medicine, dentistry, and pharmacy is there. Were there, and also socioeconomic and culture, people or students from Faculty of Law, social and politics, literature, economics, and philosophy, psychology were there, and agricultural related field or primary production, which is consists of students from Faculty of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry, Forestry, Fishery, and Agricultural Technology. And they should solve a real problem existing in the community they are assigned and to work and stay in. It's the objective of this community service learning is to raise student empathy and care. Then you are going to be leader. And we would like to give you a case of a community that you will lead later on. So they should know this is your people who are going to be led by you. Implementing science and technology in the field, so that is why data is important, and from that data we have to solve with the science that we have. Increase the spirit of teamwork and multidisciplinary work. Educating students as researchers especially researcher in the field, not in the laboratory, and training students to work collaboratively with various sectors, from university, government, private sectors, NGOs, and community, and promoting learning community and community empowerment. With the coming of students, people in the community also learn to be learner. And we send 7,000 to 8,000 children every year to places all across Indonesia, from the end of Indonesia in Aceh up to the tip of Papua, from the Talaut where Dr. Andi led so many years, students there, up to Rotendao. So all 34 provinces in Indonesia, we have some location for our students. And we know that we are not going to overcome anything if only we come in 2 months only. Therefore, we manage that student should, or in a certain place, student will come 3 years or 4 or 5 years. The supervisor, the lecturer who supervises the location, same supervisor, the student matching every year. So the first year, the problem or the project is to map the problem and capacity of the community, and then the second year they have to co-create a program to overcome the problem of the community, and they give a target in the first year, second year, and how to give to have the funding for that. And the third year, fourth year, and fifth year is program execution. Every year, different students may come, but the supervisor is same. And several examples. For example, we have a project finished already in Gunung Kidul, just 50 kilometers away from our campus, where people always have a problem with water, especially during dry season. Then students come, and then we have they found a river under the underground river, and they bring the water by pumping to the hill. From the hill, then distributed to 5 villages, which has 1,900 householders. This is one project during before the pandemic. The second project is that we found people mining gold in Sabteluk, Sumbawa, West Sumbawa, and they use mercury, and then we send our students and then teach them how to mine the gold without using mercury. They use some shaking table, and people are making their shaking table by themselves, of course, supervised by students. This is a previous project, but now we have a different problem, because during the pandemic we cannot send our students to the location, to the villages. Therefore, we have webinars or Zoom meeting or Google Meet, and many way to convene virtually. Here, a student, here is the supervisor, and people from the village are gathering on their place, but we can communicate. During this communication, then we can have an idea what is their problem, how to overcome or to assist people to overcome their problem. And here, most of these work are about what is COVID, making people understand what is COVID, what is the pandemic, and how to overcome this one, how to prevent ourselves from being infected, etc. But also some students start to disseminate Desa Apps. Desa means village. Desa Apps is an application made by Faculty of Agriculture to communicate with farmers, so farmer can take a picture on their crop whenever they have a problem, and then send it to the through the application to the Faculty of Agriculture, and Faculty of Agriculture can give a suggestion for them. And also during the pandemic, many students have the problem of connecting to their teachers because they have no packet data package. They do not even have the signal for internet. So some of our students overcome this one using a handy-talkie. So the teachers have a handy-talkie and then talk to several students, just like police, communicate through this handy-talkie. And also some students make a tutorial to students in their place, their village, mathematical for students, experimental on science for elementary students, English for elementary students, and etc. And also even because we come to a certain village already 3 to 5 years, we were able to give a certain location. For example, here is the Luk Panenting in Banggai, Sulawesi, and detailed engineering design for a dive center. Even we invite some youngster from that place to be tested to get examination for diving. And fortunately, those 3 youngsters from the village passed the examination for divers. And that is for us, Jose, to start the communication discussion with you. Thank you very much for your attention. Education for a better world.
Thank you very much, Professor Irvan, for a very insightful presentation. Just to wrap up a little bit, so basically we send 7,000 to 8,000 students of our university to all over Indonesia, and they have to live there for 2 months. So just to give you an information about Indonesia, the distance between the western tip to the eastern tip of Indonesia is more than 5,000 kilometers, which means it's equal to the distance from Ireland to Kazakhstan in Europe, or more than California to New York in the US. So just to give you some idea. So it is actually a very big project. All right. Now we would like to hear from the second speaker, Mas Aryo. I think you're ready with that. We are going to listen what is Dompet Duafa and how actually Dompet Duafa can contribute to the community. Mas Aryo, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Pak Made. And salam for Prof. Irvan and also Prof. Kuat. Very interesting discussion about the UGM Community Service Program, and I think that Dompet Duafa should collaborate with UGM in terms of community or student engagement to the community. And yeah, my name is Haryo Mojopahit, so you can call me Haryo or you can call me Mojo, but please do not call me Pahit. Because Pahit is bitter in Indonesia, but Mojopahit is a name of one Hinduism kingdom in Indonesia. Currently I'm working from for Dompet Duafa as a general manager for advocacy and legal protection. And if you don't mind, I need to share my screen.
Yes, please. Yes, all good.
Yeah, it's already on your screen.
You want to slideshow it?
Give me 1 second.
Excuse me, Mas Aryo, it's gone now. I think you need to reshare it.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that let me introduce you to Dompet Duafa. I think that Dompet Duafa and Yogyakarta a special relationship because our history was from Yogyakarta. because our founder, Mr. Parni, was in Yogyakarta when he got an idea to build an organization named Dompet Duafa. At that time, Mr. Parni Hadi was the CEO of Republika. Republika is one national newspaper in Indonesia, and he was promoting the newspaper in the Kridosono gymnasium, right, or stadium, and during the lunch hour, some teachers from Gunung Kidul, they approach Mr. Parni Hadi, and they have very interesting conversation. And then Mr. Parni Hadi asked the teacher, how much is your salary? And the teacher said that, we only get salary for 6,000 rupiah. At that time, 6,000 rupiah is very, very, very small during 1990s. And Mr. Parni Hadi asked, where did you get this salary? And the teacher said, we are get it from an organization that was a student organization. And, this student, give donation to the organization to fund these teachers to teach some remote areas in Yogyakarta. And Mr. Parni Hadi said, okay, students, and you guys are students, right? Usually, a lot of students have, very limited budget, very limited money, but they still, contribute to the organization. And that's why Mr. Parni Hadi was so ashamed. And then, he said that I am ashamed, I will do something after I come back to Jakarta. And after Mr. Parni Hadi came back to Jakarta, because he worked for a newspaper, and he make a column in the newspaper named Dompet Duafa. This small column is, encourage the readers of the newspaper to support, these teachers. And in Indonesia, dompet means wallet, and duafa means, weak people, poor people, or oppressed people. So dompet duafa means, wallet for the poor. And I think this is the first day Mr. Parni Hadi opened the column in the newspaper. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were Mr. Parni Hadi himself and his family members. And the initial donors of Dompet Duafa were Republika's employees and their family members as well. So I think that when we start Dompet Duafa, and also our first program is in Gunung Kidul in Yogyakarta. Like we doing some community empowerment or community development project for like the bitternut crackers or emping melinjo. And I think that during the 1990s, people see charity is only giving food, only giving clothes, shelters, but people not yet talk about community development. And I think this is the good start from Dompet Duafa. We start with the community development project or economic empowerment and start in Yogyakarta. So that's why Yogyakarta is very special for Dompet Duafa. And this is Dompet Duafa now. So we have 2 wings. We have the philanthropic wings and also the social business wings. I think that our philanthropic wings cover education, healthcare, advocacy, economic empowerment, and social service. And our social business ventures, we have schools, college, vocational schools. We have think tank institution. Also, we have some, farming companies and training companies. We have one rural bank, venture capital firm, and also 33 primary clinics and 8 hospitals. So that's why we believe that our hospitals and our clinics are the front line of the COVID emergency response as well. And this is our network right now. Start from Yogyakarta. Now we have 34 branches all across Indonesia with 200 local offices. And also we have 5 branches overseas in the USA, Hong Kong, South Korea, Australia, and Japan. And I saw, some of you are from this country. So if you came back to your home country, please visit our office in the country. So we can have, collaboration, right? And this is some of our programs during the pandemic. I think that we have 2 stages of the program. The first one is the emergency relief, and the second one is the community development. Because the pandemic have some, impact in the economy. I think that our economy have some contraction. And I think that the humanitarian organization, such as Dompet Duafa, need to have like the community development program in terms to, to support our society to be resilient for the, impact or the effect of the pandemic. I think our relief program named Cekal or Cegah Tangkal coronavirus 19. And mostly we educate communities about COVID-19. We have like food emergency distribution. We built disinfection chambers in some, public facilities. We, built hand washing facilities, and all of our hospitals and clinic do, massive testing for rapid testing and also PCR swab testing. And also our hospital, receive some COVID-19 patients. And the community development part is the community gardening or kebun pangan keluarga. And also we have community farming with small ponds. So we give them, some installation to create like a small fishery project. In Indonesia, we call it budik damber, budidaya ikan dalam ember. And also we have the bigger one, the budik kolbu, budidaya ikan di kolam buatan. And also we give, some internet access and gadgets for, affected communities. And we hope that, this effort can build the resilience of the communities during the pandemic time. And this is some pictures. I think that even Dompet Duafa is a faith-based organization, like Muslim-based organization, but we do a lot of things across faith or across religion. And I think this is some pictures of our emergency relief program. And this is our community development program. So you can see the Budi Kolbu, or we have like medium small ponds, as a fishery project to local communities. And I think that, Dompet Duafa practice what we call as friend-rising, or the arts of community engagement and collaboration. I think that the organization like Dompet Duafa, we are, selling, or we are, promoting our values, like altruistic values, because I think by share these values to help other people, to support our community, etc. So we can build a movement. When we build a movement, we can transform our values to our daily activities, and people will see our activities, our programs, our project, and if they are interested and they have same values, I think they will collaborate with us. And I think Dompet Duafa is very small organization. We cannot do it without friends or our strategic partners. So that's why we invite a lot of people, organizations, news media outlets, to support our movement. And I think that as the consequences, we can generating resources to support our programs or our projects because we do this friend-raising campaign. And this is some of our activities in the friend-raising. We collaborate with some musicians. We're doing like charity concert, but stay at home through Zoom us, and also we are collaborate with one airlines, Lion Air, to do a rapid test for the passengers of the airlines. And I think we also collaborate with the Indonesian Red Cross, and also even with the community of Gojek driver or online ride platform, but the community of the driver, not the company, but the drivers, because usually the drivers, they have like groups or community, so we collaborate with them as well. And this is businesses and news medias that already collaborate with us. And I think this is the important part for international students. I think that you need to have three things if you want to do community engagement. The first one is you need to keep yourself safe and secure. And also you need to find an organization or project that protect your safety and provide security during your engagement or during your volunteering. And I think that's the most important part. You know, you cannot help other people if you are not safe or if you are not secure. And then about the next one is almost start from your expertise. And I think that I know that you all have your own strength, your own expertise, and I think that's very important. With that expertise, you can help other people. And the last one is you can counting your impact or organization that can provide more impact. I think that you can choose, there's a lot of organization, right? And if you can choose one or two, organization that can multiply your work or your impact, that would be great. And I think that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mas Haryo, for very insightful presentation. So basically, I'm interested in how this Dompet Duafa actually started. It was through a random conversation between someone and some other student, basically, or a teacher at that time in Jogja. So basically, do not underestimate any small ideas, because from those small ideas, you can probably grow something big. Basically, that's the idea that I learned from Mas Haryo's presentation. Now, the last presenter, the last speaker is Professor Quatriana. But before that, once again, for those who have not really filled the quiz that I posted in the chat room, please look at now there. There's a link over there. Click the link and then make your choice. That's it. Thank you very much. Professor Quat, the time is yours. Monggo, Prof.
Thank you very much, Pak Andi. And sorry, this is appearing in my location right now.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pak Irfan and Mas Haryo. And also, I would like to thank to the organizing committee to invite me to talk about GNOS in this opportunity. And before discussing, I would like to show the video that has already just finished in editing. So I would like to Mas Alnus to help me. Hello, Mas Alnus. Yeah.
Yes, Sampun Nicholas.
This is in Indonesia, basically, but I hope all of you is easy to understand.
Electronic Nose C19 atau Genos C19 merupakan alat inovasi Universitas Gadjah Mada yang terbaru dalam screening COVID-19. Genos C19 bekerja dengan mengenali pola senyawa metabolit yang terbentuk dari orang yang sudah terinfeksi COVID-19 hanya melalui sampel nafas. Langkah awal adalah menghidupkan alat Genos C19 dengan cara berikut. Posisikan alat Genos C19 pada tempat dengan aliran udara yang baik dan tidak pada tempat yang banyak orang berkerumun. Pastikan mesin dalam keadaan mati, lalu sambungkan mesin Genos ke komputer dengan menggunakan kabel data dan sambungan listrik. Pastikan selang sampel menembus plug HME filter. Selang menembus minimal 1 mm ke dalam melewati plug dan tidak menyentuh bagian dalam filter. Sambungkan selang sampel ke port selang sampel, lalu selang reference ke port selang reference. Ujung selang reference diposisikan jauh dari tempat pengambilan sampel, seperti di bawah meja atau ke jendela. Kemudian tekan tombol power untuk menghidupkan mesin Genos. Kemudian buka aplikasi Genos AI Dashboard. Pastikan di layar laptop muncul device connected with advanced mode. Saat mesin sudah terhubung dengan benar, biarkan mesin hidup selama kurang lebih 15 menit untuk memanaskan mesin. Lalu setelah 15 menit, lakukan evaluasi mesin dengan menekan flash untuk evaluasi udara sekitar apakah sudah ideal untuk penggunaan alat. Saat flashing, udara ideal tergambar pada grafik dalam batas plus 20 mV sampai dengan minus 20 mV. Ambang batas udara yang tidak baik atau tersaturasi adalah di luar 50 mV sampai dengan minus 50 mV. Apabila udara tidak baik selama flashing, harap memindahkan alat ke tempat dengan sirkulasi udara yang lebih baik. Penggunaan alat Genos C19 didesain agar dapat digunakan dengan mudah dan efisien. Tidak hanya bagi tim medis, masyarakat awam juga bisa menggunakan alat ini. Berikut langkah-langkahnya. Tekan Analyze lalu lengkapi identitas pasien. Lalu persiapkan pasien untuk mengambil nafas. Pasien boleh berdiri atau duduk untuk pengambilan nafas. Pasien diinstruksikan untuk menghembuskan nafas ke dalam masker sebanyak 2 kali. Lalu, pasien diminta untuk menghembuskan ke dalam kantong nafas. Ingat, posisikan katup kantong nafas sudah terbuka. Instruksikan pasien untuk mengunci katup saat kantong sudah penuh. Kantong nafas lalu dihubungkan ke HME filter. Jangan lupa untuk membuka katup kantong nafas setelah terhubung dengan HME filter. Lalu tekan Save untuk memulai proses sampling nafas. Kemudian tunggu proses pengolahan nafas, dan nantinya hasil nafas dapat dibaca langsung. Pastikan loading kedua, yaitu loading flushing, selesai. Alat bisa langsung digunakan untuk pasien selanjutnya. Setelah sampel selesai dianalisis, kantong nafas dibuang pada limbah medis. HME filter apabila sudah digunakan melebihi 100 kali subjek negatif atau 1 kali subjek positif, harap diganti dengan yang baru. HME filter dibuang pada limbah medis. Catatan peringatan, pastikan pasien tidak mengkonsumsi makanan, merokok, atau mengkonsumsi alkohol dalam periode 30 menit sampai dengan 1 jam. Pastikan selang sampel menembus plak HME filter. Selang menembus minimal 1 mm ke dalam melewati plak dan tidak menyentuh bagian dalam filter. Pastikan katup kantong nafas terbuka saat sudah sampling nafas. HME filter diganti apabila penggunaan 1 liter sudah mencapai 100 pasien atau sudah terdeteksi pasien positif dari mesin. Selama pengoperasian alat, tidak boleh menggunakan disinfektan yang bisa menguap atau dalam bentuk aerosol di sekitar alat. Pembuangan kantong nafas dan HME filter dapat dibuang pada limbah medis yang burnable. Peningkatan kecepatan jumlah tracing dengan harga yang terjangkau dan tindakan yang non-invasif merupakan alat pendukung yang ideal di era new normal ini. Penggunaan alat Genos C19 diharapkan agar dapat digunakan untuk mempercepat deteksi dini dari COVID-19.
Okay, thank you, Mas Alnus, for the video. And I think it is clear for us how to use this device. And Pak Adi, maybe we can continue with the discussion later together with another speakers.
Thank you very much, Professor Fuad, for this is very insightful video anyway. But I'm sorry it was in Bahasa Indonesia, but I'm sure that this is quite universal anyway. If you see all the video, I think you have some ideas. So basically, Professor Fuad is the lead of the team that invented a device, if I may say, called Genos. Basically, it can detect COVID-19 or coronavirus through your breath. So without anything, basically blood involvement, you don't really feel anything hurt. So basically, it is an easy process and also quick. I think this is a good invention. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think now I would like to show you, before we discuss, the result of your quiz or your questionnaire. Okay. I just made a quiz, Professor Irfan, Mas Haryo, and also Pak Fuad, Prof. Fuad. So this is the quiz that I just made, and then the participant just filled it and then answer the question. The first is with regard to contribution to the community. 6 people say that they don't think that they can contribute to the community with their field of studies. 18 people say that I think it is important to contribute, but they don't know what to do. They have no idea. 10 said that they know that they can contribute, but they haven't done anything. And the good news is 22 of them would say, well, they have done something to contribute to the community, which I think is a good news. But if we need to divide this into 2, it means that 22 said they have done something, and 30 something or 35 said they haven't done anything, right? Which I think is quite interesting here. So 19 people, for example, say they know that they can do something, but I have no idea what to do. All right. Now, based on this contribution, I would like to hear probably the opinion. Maybe I can start from Professor Irfan. What do you think the students should do, Professor Irfan, if they know that they can contribute, but they just don't know what to do? What is your advice if you see young people like this? Thank you very much.
I think I should mention the word of Lao Tse. Come to your people. Stay with them. Talk to them. Start with what they do. So we are not coming. We should not come and teach them. Just come to see them, and you will know what to do. This is the word of Lao Tse. Several might be thousand years ago.
Right.
So that what inspired me. Because I came from I trained to be a biotechnologist who work in the lab, in a small thing in laboratory. But then I also have met with the mathematician, theoretical mathematician from Groningen, University of Groningen in Netherlands. And they are talking to cheese making, a small enterprise making cheese, and they are talking. I would like to know what to do with the mathematician, theoretical mathematician. And what do you know? He came with a model that you should not incubate or aging of the cheese so long, because the price of the cheese will not increase. So you need only several months of aging. Is enough. That's a mathematical model which unknown for the people making the cheese. So just talk to them, and you will find you can help something. You can do something.
Very nice, Professor. So basically, you cannot just stay in your lab and read books and in the library. Just go and join the community and see what they do, or even involve yourself in what they do, and then you will have ideas, right? That's basically, I think, the lesson.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Mas Haryo, I think that is exactly what Dr. Dwafa is doing at the moment. So what is your advice to students? Sometimes they have ideas, but they just have no resources sometimes, and they don't know where to go, right? These students, sometimes they have a lot of ideas, they're very idealistic, but they just don't have power. Sometimes they feel they're powerless. What can they do when they face this kind of situation?
Yeah, thank you so much, Pak Made. And I think that, sometimes we have a lot of ideas, but very limited resources. That happened with Dompet Duafa as well. But I think that the most important thing is how to make this idea come to the reality, right? And I think that funding is only one part of it. And I think that the first one is you have to make your own tribes that agree with your ideas. This like your own tribes maybe can be a small group or maybe the bigger one, but always start with yourself and then with a group. And I think that after that group, so you can think about how to mobilizing resources. And I think that right now we have so many options. The first one is you can do that on the social media, right? Because a lot of students right now, they have a lot of projects and they offer that into on their own social media. And I think that, but social media campaign needs some knowledge how to make a social media campaign. I think you can get a lot of free online course to learn about the social media automation, especially for non-profit purposes. And also we have a lot of social giving platform, such as maybe in Indonesia we have Kitabisa, in maybe in Korea they have their own, in the US they GoFundMe, they have GoFundMe, etc. And the second one is you can collaborate with organization like Dompet Duafa, or maybe your university as well, because a lot of organization right now, they have budget, but they have no idea or new concept. And I think that some organization, they have like a grant making project, and we can ask grant from them. And I think in Dompet Duafa we do the same thing. And I think that every year we have Youth for Peace program. We invite a lot of international students from all over the world to make a social project in their own home country. Right now, this year, we have 3 projects. One in Bangladesh. We support the Moringa crops, right? Like I think moringa is very valuable in South Asia. So they consume a lot of moringa capsules. I think that one of our community empowerment project in Cox's Bazar. Cox's Bazar is one of the refugee camp in Bangladesh that hosts about 1 million Rohingyas refugees from Myanmar. And we start this project to make these Rohingya refugees like plant moringa trees and how they can, pick the leaves and then make capsules, and they can sell it in the South Asia market. The second one is in Yemen. We built like a radio for girls because a lot of young girls in Yemen, they cannot go to school because of war, and they have no internet access as well. The one that they connect to the world is through radio. So that's why we do the online, not online, distant learning through radio in Yemen, because the situation is very complicated because they are in the war zone. But they still can learn, in schools, but distant schools with the radio wave. And the third one is in Cambodia. We have some youth project, cooperate with our young partner. He also have some, leadership development project. And I think this is, some ideas that we as an organization really appreciate, and then we support the ideas to make moringa capsules, to make radio education for girls in Yemen, and also in Cambodia, a leadership program for young people in Cambodia. I think you can do this too, seek in the social media, doing the social media campaign, and the second one is seek grants from other organizations.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mahayo. I think this is very important message. First, you focus on how you can do something positive. That's basically it. So because money is not the only issue that we have actually. I mean, or sometimes it is not the only solution that you need, to make your project running. As long as you have the idea and you formulate that and you think about that, you make your network, it is not impossible for you to get some assistance from others, right? That's probably the point that Mas Aryo just made. By the way, we had already a lot of questions here about Genus, Prof. Fuad, in the chatting room. I think your product is really, really, attention grabbing here. This is very popular. By the way, can we start from that question, Prof. Fuad, in the chatting room? First, for example, can Genus recognize asymptomatic patients? I don't even know what it means,
Okay. Yeah, this is good question, I think. Thank you very much. Actually, sorry. Oh, yeah. During the profiling test, this is the first clinical trial, we found about 80% of asymptomatic patients. So it is possible. And we didn't test for the high condition and the condition of the health of patient. So it's mostly about what we call asymptomatic patients. Also, so we can detect.
Yes, it is a yes, right? We can do that. Yeah. Because as I said earlier, even I did the test, I did not have any symptoms, and they can, provide me a good result. Yeah. So, what is the accuracy, Prof. Fuad?
Right now, the accuracy, because this difference between the testing, profiling test and also the diagnostic test. And the profiling test, we testing the homogeneous patient in the hospital, but the we call the diagnostic testing is detect more heterogenetic patient and we tune the condition. So right now the accuracy is about is still constant about 95%, but this is the important thing about the medical devices is not only accuracy but also the sensitivity and specificity. Sensitivity means that the device should sensitive to the positive patient, positive confirm to COVID, and specificity is sensitive to the negative COVID. So right now we have about 89, I think, 89% of
89%.
sensitivity. Yeah,
All
because
right.
and the specificity is still high, about 93%. So this device maybe is will be applied for the rapid screening, and we can show you about the. For example, if we have sensitivity about 90%, for example, it means that it is possible to find the incorrect positive patients about 10%. So after that, because it is a screening step, so we can make some recommendation that you should test using PCR like this. This is the important thing, not only accuracy but also sensitivity and specificity.
Thank you. So it is actually answered Hanifa's question about specificity and sensitivity. Thank you very much, Professor. Now, can we go back to Professor Irfan a little bit? We send 7,000 students or even 8,000 students to all over Indonesia, Professor, which is very, is a big program. People always ask me sometimes, how do you convince the community? How do you convince the parents, especially, that they allow us to do this? And because, it is not very easy for people, for example, born in Jakarta, and then they go to Papua and they live there for 2 months. Do you have any issue in convincing them, or is there any problems about that? You can maybe share a story. Thank you.
Before sending student, I have to have a collaboration with many stakeholders. First is the local government. The local government from the provinces until the village even. Then we have to get their support because the safety and security of students depend on them. Second is working with the security institution like police and also with our alumni, because our alumni, Universitas Gadjah Mada alumni, spread all across the country. Then we have to make a good communication with them. That I will send several 90 students to a certain location, to certain provinces, and then do they have a suggestion on the security of the places, and this first. The second one, we also, of course, we also have insurance, travel insurance and health insurance to our students. And the third is that I have no idea on how to convince, because student convinced by another student. So instead of having difficulty to recruit student, I have difficulty to refuse student.
All right.
Because for example, I can only support 90 students to Papua, yet around 300 students are registering for Papua. I have only support several, might be 90 students to North Sulawesi, yet around 200 students register for that. So instead of recruiting or convince them, then I have a selection criteria to to refuse them with a certain criteria.
Okay, very interesting. So it is very good news actually. People need to know this, that when we have this very good program, even though it is quite risky, actually young people really want to do that, right, Professor? So basically, more students want to go to remote areas now, which I think is a good news. So if we want only 90 of them, but 300 applying, or 200 applying, so sometimes we need to refuse them. So I think this is a
One more thing that interesting. But I just how to say during my visit to several group of students, I asked them, if for example you could continue for another 4 months to stay here, do you have an how to say eagerness to continue for next 4 months? So you are stay here for 6 months. Then they ask me, what could I get with staying here for 6 months? So instead of doing research in your laboratory, you can do, or you can make your work here in the community into a report which is equal to undergraduate thesis. So because the thesis in undergraduate might be their work in the community, as good as their work in the laboratory.
Right.
So they have an eagerness on that. Second, then some students finish their study after graduation, so it means that they have completed their work in the community. They know the potential of the community, a very good place. Then they make a new business, tourism business. So they have now, they start a tourism business, traveling in a remote area for diving. They know the place, they know the hotel there, they know the people there, and then they start a new business with them.
So starting from the
kind of startup, a startup company, but not in the how to say, or with the internet or digital. This is a real tourism.
Okay, right. Thank you very much, Prof. Irfan. I think this is I'm happy to hear that because young people, maybe not only in Indonesia but all over the world, also they have this kind of positive energy to do something for the community, but sometimes they just don't know what to do. But Mas Haryo from Dompet Duafa already enlightened us about a lot of things you can do and a lot of support actually available around you, basically. Now, with Pak Kuat, probably one question. You know, sometimes, Prof, people say that a professor in the university, they just do their research based on their own interest. But sometimes their research doesn't really help the community.
Yeah.
People say that sometimes.
Yeah.
So what actually motivate you to pay attention or to focus your research on this particular field in a way that is impactful to the community? How do you come up with that idea?
Okay. So thank you, Pak Andi. The idea of developing Chinos actually because since the beginning of pandemic, we have actually we predicted that this pandemic will be long. So we are very upset seeing this condition. So the collaborator from the Faculty of Medicine, Dr. Dian, tried to directly come to the COVID isolated room in Bayangkara Hospital, and then during this week, we then analyzed the data and we surprised that the result is that the genus can differentiate accurately between the spread of positive COVID in the room of isolation and the healthy patient. This is our motivation first. The second one, we hope that using genus that we will help to accelerate how to break the chain of the spread of COVID with the genus people who are positive immediately isolated and healthy people can have normal activities and so. So I think genus can make some we can how do you call the a certainty.
Okay.
Between us, we is certain. This is a certain of positive, this is certain of healthy people and so on.
Okay.
So this is our idea.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is related to what Professor Irfan just mentioned earlier about just go to your community or go to your people. I think it's very important message. It has to be the principle of students, also of us as professors. Right? So if we don't really come to our community, we don't see the problem. Maybe our risk will not be really impactful to the community. Well, I think, is there any other question, by the way? I can see here a very good conversation you guys have in the chatting box here. For example, I just like to notice Christy, by the way, mentioned a very interesting opinion about empowerment, basically. So it doesn't have to be something big. You know, you do things within your capacity. So if you don't think that you have a lot of resources, so you do small thing as long as is giving the positive impact to the society, which I think a lot of people agree to that kind of opinion, which I think I acknowledge that. All right, I think that's probably the point that people make about this. Now, I would like to, we still have I think 12 minutes, by the way, for the discussion. If you guys have any question, whatever, in relation to Prof. Irfan or Mas Haryo or Prof. Fuad, I think you are more than welcome to do that. All right, now can I answer a question which is not really related to this session, but it's about scholarship? The answer is yes. Our university provides scholarship to international students. However, the scholarship is for master degree and PhD. So not only for language, like Christy asked. So if you want to study in our university for master and PhD, you will get the scholarship, including the scholarship to study Indonesian, to study language. So it means that if you apply for the master degree, you will have at least 6 months session or duration for studying language. So I really encourage you to apply. Later on, I think we have Tifa here. Tifa can probably put the link over there later on for you to check for the application of the scholarship. All right. Okay, good. Now, I would like to go to Prof. Irfan one more time. Prof. Irfan, I think your program is really nice, but I think there are also obstacles. Right? Of course, there are obstacles during the program. Can you tell us story, maybe 1 or 2, about the obstacle that we face and how we deal with that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The obstacle is that too many community want us to come. So every year there is a request from almost 500 location for us to come. But our student with, for example, with 7,000 or 8,000 students, even 8,000 students, with each group consists of 25. So in average between 20 to 30 or 25, but actually around 28 group. A group is consists of 25 students. Then we have only 300 groups with 7,500 children. We have only 300 groups a year. So 150 locations are always, asking why you are not coming, why your student is not coming, why we are left behind. So this is what the problem. And also newcomer is coming also. Newcomer means new location.
Right.
So that is the problem. But we overcome it. But then I asked them, I can support only 3 group of students or 90 students in a year in a certain provinces. But if the provinces also support more students from their funding, then I can give more students to the places. So this is how to overcome. But other obstacle might be not so not so difficult.
All right,
that is the
thank you
most.
very much. Thank you. So basically, just to give some more ideas to our friends. So we actually listen to the local government, right? So if you want to send students, for example, to one particular regency, we want to listen from the mayor first. So whatever they want, what the problems they have, we listen to them, and then we will send the right team to them, right? So it is not that we just randomly send people to any place, basically, which I think is just a good point. Now our problem is that there are too many requests. Too many requests, and we need to, I think one of the, maybe something that we can do, or we already have done, is to collaborate with other universities, right, Prof. Irfan, to just share the burden to them.
Yes.
All right, good point.
But also that problem with the collaborate with the other university. Why? Because then people, always the success always accredited to Gajah Mada University. Then other university may invite. Because we are the one who start, then when other people come, they always accredited to Universitas Gajah Mada. Even though I always said that this is a collaborative work, this is not our only work, because our head is only two, our head is only one. We should collaborate with others, but still, the head of the regency, the head of the governors also say, "Thank you, Universitas Gajah Mada." That is not good for me. This is not good for others also.
Yes, thank you very much.
We are working together.
Yes, thank you very much. So as I said earlier, our country is too big, right? So it is not enough for UGM only to do that, but I think everybody else also is doing or has been doing that now. I want to go to, because we still have time, to Mas Haryo. You just mentioned about sometimes a lot of companies or institutions, they have the money or the funding, but they don't know what to do. That's what you just mentioned. What's your advice about this to the company or maybe to the students? How can they recognize this opportunity so they are there and the resources available in the institution can meet somewhere? What is your advice about that, Mas Haryo?
Yeah, thank you, Andy. So I think that the first one is we need to identify what company is it and what is the interest of the company. And I think that in Indonesia, by the law, like all companies, they have to have a corporate social responsibility program. And I think that's our opportunity to approach the company, because that mandate by the law, but mostly companies and businesses, they have their own interests. And I think that in my experience working with a lot of businesses and companies, mostly they want to have program who relate to their own brand value. Let's say, with education program, quota or internet access to know that maybe one of the mining company in the villages they want to a good brand image to the community around them. And I think that mostly they're interested in education program because they need sometimes who keeping the community busy with their own life. So that's why we do, some farming project, because farming project is, sometimes, if you have animals, cattle or lambs, you need to feed the animals, lambs like 3 times a day. So that's why that make the community busy and they have no time to criticize the company. I think that's a part of it as well. That's really based on the interest of the company. I think that if you can, provide something that valuable to the company, and also that can enhance their brand values or brand image, I think that will be, they will support you. I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We still have a couple of minutes here. I think I can invite the participants to address their question live if you like, but we also already have the question asked from the chat here. I just read. We have Dani Saputra here. Okay. During the pandemic, we knew that people struggled, especially on the economic side. How does the distribution of Dompet Duafa assistance reach the community evenly? I mean, Mas Aryo, I think you're still here, right? How do you make sure that the distribution is quite even, or basically to reach equally from one area to other areas? Are you still on or not? Okay.
Yes, I'm still here.
All right. If you have some more, short comments about that.
Yeah, so that's why we have, a lot of branches.
Okay.
To ensure that we can cover all areas in Indonesia. And I think that we really start everything from the villages, from desa. So that's why we appreciate that if some communities came from villages, from desa. So that's why, because we believe that we need to build desa or villages.
Right.
If we have, because villages have a lot of resources.
Okay.
In agricultural, a lot of resources, but like big cities absorb these resources from the villages. So that's why we left the villages in the poverty, because the big cities absorbs all of these resources. So that's why we want to bring back these resources to villages. I think that's the most important values in Dompet Duafa.
Right. So I think in Indonesia, we have this principle, developing Indonesia from the outer side or from the peripheral, membangun dari pinggiran, right? All right. I think we have a very, very interesting discussion. I think I've seen one of the discussion. All right. I'm not really sure here. Maybe Pak Kuat or Pak Irfan can help with this question. Let's say Lily, for example, here ask, can you give an advice to a first-time volunteers, like if they haven't done anything but they want to be volunteers, how actually they can go and get the target, what to do with the community? Do you have any advice? Or maybe in the case of Pak Kuat, if there are students, new students like that, want to be involved in the research that will be impactful to the society, what is your advice about that? Maybe Prof. Irfan first, maybe short one, Prof.
For our students, when they come to the community, this is the first opportunity for them. So I advise them. Many are coming to my office, and then I advise them in which you want to come, and then please come and communicate with this person, the person who last year working on the community. So you can ask them. So join a group which is already work on that.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Irfan. Prof. Kuat, you probably have advice to new students who want to join a group like you to have an impactful research.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. I think this is the same answer from the Professor Irfan. Yeah, students can come to my office and then we can discuss together, because we have a lot of topic of research, and also not only focus on the scientific one, but also how to deploy the device in the community. So later on, we would like to work together with Pak Irfan, Mas Aryo, and other community services to make Jinos can be one of the techniques or method to stop the coronavirus in Indonesia, especially. I think so.
Thank you very much. All right, if I may conclude, basically, we need each other. So if you're students, for example, sometimes you feel that, what can I do? Oh, I'm only students. I don't have anything, or I'm not expert, blah, blah, blah. That's what you think. But don't forget that even a professor like Professor Kuat and Professor Ivan, they also need more people, right? They need young people. They need fresh blood. They need energetic people. So they need you. We need each other, basically. So don't hesitate to approach. I think that's probably the conclusion. All right, now with that discussion, I think we just need to stop because of the time. Otherwise, it can go on and on for 2 days or 3 days. I just better stop here. But what I can say here, Prof. Irfan, once again, thank you very much, and Prof. Kuat and also Mas Haryo, thank you very much. I will not conclude, but if you allow me to take some lesson learned. I remember what said by Marcel Proust, who said that basically they say the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscape, but in having new eyes. So basically, if you want to do something or discover something, it is not about discovering something new, but having new eyes. So basically, what we need to have here is the new eyes, the new way to see things. Even though sometimes if you live in Cambodia or in Myanmar or in Bali or wherever, if you see that thing every day, you don't think it is a problem. But if somebody else come there, maybe they will see it as a problem. So basically, the object can be the same, but if you change your mind, if you change the way you see it, you might be able to discover ideas. So I think that is probably the lesson learned from what you mentioned, Professor Irfan, once again, Professor Kuat and Mas Haryo, thank you very much. With that, I would like to thank them, everyone. Can we give a big round of applause to our speakers, please? Thank you very much. And now I will give it back to Dobrin and Putri. Aturnuun, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Andy, for being our moderator today. And thank you to all of you, our distinguished panel of speakers today. It was really a pleasure to hear all your speeches and discussions today. What do we have next, Mbak Putri?
Next, we would like to invite Dr. Danang Sihatmoko, Director of Partnership, Alumni, and Global Initiatives, who will give closing remarks. Dr. Danang, please.
Thank you very much for inviting me as to provide the final remark. So first, I would like to thank Prof. Irfan, Prof. Kuat, our two prominent professors, and also Pak Haryo Mojopahit from Dompet Duafa. Yeah, thank you very much for your very inspiring talk, and also very inspiring movement that you initiated, yeah, in our campus, not only for UGM but also for our society. And also I would like to thanks for all the participants for your very active involvement. I know that you are very active in involvement in the discussion, and also I really appreciate for your very smart questions, and also some remarks. And I think this classroom, this virtual classroom, is very active, yeah. And also I would like to thanks for all the organizing committee, our colleague from Pak Andi, and all colleague here, Mbak Tifa, and also Mbak Meisha, and all colleague here, my friends in UGM, who design and also who innovate, yeah. That usually the dream is organized and also organized offline, yeah. But now we held totally online, yeah, and we didn't expect before the COVID-19. So I would like also to highlight to all of us that this is actually the participants of this virtual classroom are your friends, yeah, are your networks. I encourage you, all of us, that to follow up, yeah, the friendship that we built during this period of the dream, yeah. And also I'm really happy that you build your network as early as possible, yeah, in this period of your study. And I'm pretty sure that this network will be very useful for you for next 5 years, 10 years later on. That also we have the same experience as you, yeah, before as during our period of university colleague. So again, thank you very much for all your contribution, Pak Andi. Thank you very much, Mbak Meisha, Mbak Ade, Prof. Irfan, and also Prof. Kuat. Yeah, I would like to highlight that very inspiring talk from Prof. Kuat and also Prof. Irfan. Not only to innovate, yeah, the instrument, not to only to innovate, yeah, the breakthrough to tackle this pandemic, yeah, in terms of the technological development, but also how to implement in the society. Very amazing, actually. So hopefully that this talk in this afternoon session will give all of us, yeah, the inspiration that we can contribute to our society. Thank you very much again, yeah, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Pak Danang.
Thank you, Pak Danang, for the closing speech. Okay, what do we have next, Mbak Putri?
Next, we will have photo session.
Okay, guys, I would like to ask you to open your cameras.
Yes.
Are you ready, all of you? Let's check Mbak Putri if they're ready.
The committee will take 3 until 4 times, probably, Mas. And please put your best mouse to the camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mbak Putri. Thank you, Mbak.
Yeah,
Mbak
you're
Asti, Mbak
welcome.
Fatika, Mbak Mailani, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pak Danang.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
We are going to announce the winners and
Those the your one winners. I would is like open your mic and just in a brief, that was your call. Feel your dream, whatever you want to share, the time will be yours. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, Mbak Putri, and I'm going to announce Binti Arit. Selamat, congratulations. Are you here with us? Nurul? Okay. Maybe she's not here or she went outside of the room or something. But we will come back to her. Okay, our next winner is Nurul Hadiah binti Abdul.
The Dream Committee, especially. Then, thank you for having me as one of your participants. And I'm actually very grateful to join this program. Thank you.
Okay, our third winner is Irma Pibrianti. Are you here with us? Congratulations to you too. Hello? Irma? Okay, it's okay. Okay, our next winner is... Oh, hi. Are you here?
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Roma, do you want to say something?
Something, doing something, so just say what you want. Maybe think it down.
No need to be shy. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. If you're not comfortable, it's totally okay. We will continue with the next. Thank you very much. Our next winner is Salma Aisha Ramadhani. Are you here with us? Hello? Okay. And if not, we are going to our last winner of the Tribune contest, and it's Christine Joy Mamangun. Hi, Christine. Are you here? Hello? Okay. Okay. If you're not here, once again, congratulations to all of the winners. And our next session is what, Maputri?
The winners for selected questions. So for week 4, for the first is Elahe Golzari. Yay, congratulations. And the second one is Nur Dalili Binti Fazil. The winner for the selected IG course for week 4 is Angela Judia Arkandi. Congratulations to you all.
Congratulations, guys. Okay, do we have any more contests or any more prizes that we have to give, or we already gave everything that we have, Maputri? I think okay. Well,
what's next?
I think what's next is actually for us to officially close the dream program, right? Or we have. Oh yeah! Yeah. We have testimony. I'm sorry. Okay. We'll actually ask 2 people. The first one that we chose. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, but I will try my best. It's Solange Silva. Are you here with us?
Yes, I am. That's okay.
Thank you very much. Please feel free. Time is yours.
Okay, good afternoon to you all. Well, Dream 2020 for me was a great opportunity to learn more about resilience, about being flexible, also to take advantage of every opportunity to learn, and of course, being resilient in this time of crisis. And also it was really nice seeing what some countries around the world is doing in order to contain the spread of the virus and to still provide education with quality, even though it's online, but it's the best they can offer for now. And yeah, that's awesome. And Dream 2020 was also a great opportunity to make some friends and learn with the experience. Yeah, that was incredible. And I would like to say thank you to Dream Team and Universitas Gadjah Mada for making this extraordinary event happen. I know we are living in a difficult time. I think no one ever imagined being this kind of situation, facing this kind of situation that we are facing now. But as we learned, we need to adapt. And because we know the pandemic is not going to finish today or tomorrow. And I think the consequence of it will stick with us, will stay with us for a while. So I think what really matters is how we are going to react to it, our behavior, like Pak George was talking about last week. And I see that Universitas Gadjah Mada once more show that they can adapt, yeah, they can be resilient, and they can do it really quickly and with excellence. Even though facing challenge, of course, but did it with excellence. I mean, this whole event being held online, that was amazing. And yeah, thank you for the great opportunity to be a part of Dream 2020, to learn more about resilience. We need to be resilient, I think now more than ever. And in the same way to adapt and to be safe. Yeah. And I also would like to thank the Universitas Sriwijaya, my university here in Palembang, for giving me the opportunity to represent the university in Dream 2020. I'm really grateful for the opportunity and happy for attending the event. I learned a lot with you guys, I learned a lot with the speakers, and also with my friends from all over the world. I'm sure that we can and will benefit from this seminar for years yet to come. Thank you very much for having me and for giving me the great opportunity to be a part of Dream 2020. And sampai jumpa lagi.
Thank you very much for your speech. It was like really lovely and inspiring. I wish you, we wish you all the best for your studies.
Okay, next we will have Fadrullah Hakim Yusuf. Are you here with us? Fadrullah?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, please.
Okay.
Give your testimony.
Okay, I'm gonna make it a short one. Okay, I would like to say thank you so much for selecting me to be one of the participants for this year Dream 2020. And also, I would like to say thank you to all the other participants, some of the friends that I met for Group 1. So personal shout out to Irma, Alex from Germany, and also Angela. So thank you for always be proactive in our WhatsApp group session. And last but not least for me, to all the participants who are going to return to be joining next year Dream session, all the best. And I hope you guys are succeeded in your life. And also, representing my university, University Technology Mara, I would like to say thank you to UGM. And also, we would like to see more of the collaboration between our university in the next programs. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fadrullah. Okay, let's continue, Mbak Putri. What do we have?
We would like to remind the participants to do the final ECM segment. The detailed assignments will be uploaded on the Google Classroom.
Okay, guys, success with the final assignment. I hope you get the highest mark. I don't know if there are marks, but I know that you do it. So what is next?
Okay, we come to the end of the session.
Okay, so it's, I guess, really the official time for us to close this year's Dream online virtual program, right, Mbak Putri?
Thank you once again for joining us and being active through these weeks.
I hope that it was a really pleasant journey full of new things that you learn, and not only things that you learned or knowledge, but you also met new friends that wherever you go or wherever you are in need to share or discuss, you can always call them and have a chat or more serious talk. Thank you once again. Okay, I think it's all for us. Thank you once again. And we would like to ask our guest operator to play the final video before closing the event.
Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.